3 to 4 years back, the F-35 program was deemed doomed. Critical bugs were being discovered almost daily, and program cost was rising. But things have changed for the good since then. The F-35 Lightning II is coming into its own. A new contract for 478 aircraft has been signed by the manufacturer. The deal is worth $34 billion and is the biggest to date. Importantly, the cost has reduced considerably, and now U.S. Air Force will get the F-35A for $80 million apiece. As per reports, the aircraft will be delivered in 3 lots. In this video, Defense Updates analyzes how the F-35 is turning out to be a success story, even as Russia and China are struggling with their 5th-generation fighters. Let's get into details. This video is sponsored by the free-to-play military vehicle combat game War Thunder. We talk a lot about military vehicles on this channel, but what about trying them out for yourself? In War Thunder, you can choose from more than 1,200 playable vehicles from the 1930s to the 1990s and go to battle on more than 80 theaters of war. You can fly aircraft, helicopters, drive tanks, and command ships of all types and sizes, which have been carefully recreated from their real-world counterparts. It's available as a free download on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One with cross-platform support. So grab your friends and give it a try. All viewers of Defense Updates that register using the link in the description below will also get a free premium tank, aircraft, or ship, and 3 days of premium account time as a bonus. The Lockheed Martin F-35 Lightning II, which is a single-seat, single-engine, all-weather stealth multi-role fighter, is undergoing final development and testing by the United States. The Pentagon began the F-35 program in 2001 with an aim to develop a cost-effective replacement for the U.S. military's F-15 fighters, F-16 and F-18 fighter bombers and reconnaissance aircraft, and A-10 close-in support warplanes. The F-35 has 3 main models: the conventional takeoff and landing F-35A (CTOL), the short takeoff and vertical landing F-35B (STOVL), and the catapult-assisted takeoff but arrested recovery carrier-based F-35C (CATOBAR). Apart from the United States, the primary customer and financial backer, the United Kingdom, Italy, the Netherlands, Canada, Turkey, Australia, Norway, and Denmark are also part of the program. Many other nations like Japan and Israel are also deploying the fighters. The 9 major partner nations, including the U.S., plan to acquire over 2,000 F-35s through 2035, which, if delivered, will make the F-35 one of the most numerous jet fighters. On the 2nd of August 2016, the U.S. Air Force declared its first squadron of F-35A fighters combat ready. The fighter aircraft is expected to remain in service until 2050. The program has been struggling, but it now seems to have slowly matured. Let us now understand how the Russian and Chinese 5th-generation fighter programs are going. Russian President Mr. Putin revealed that a procurement plan is being laid out for acquiring 76 Su-57. The announcement was made during a meeting on May 15, 2019. These jets are expected to be deployed by 2028. The Kremlin previously planned to have 150 of these aircraft in service by 2020. Interestingly, this disclosure comes a day after 6 of these jets had escorted the Russian president as he flew to visit the Russian Air Force's 929th Chikhalov State Flight Test Center. Russia currently has 12 of these in flying condition. Kremlin has been struggling to fulfill many defense acquisitions due to fund crunch, and this has come as a surprise to many analysts. Viewers may note that the Su-57 program had the backing of India. India was looking for a customized variant of Su-57 for its Air Force and had put in significant funding. India wanted to acquire around 150 jets. In April 2018, India pulled out of the project. The main reasons were engine issue and unconvincing stealth characteristics. Su-57 is currently suffering due to engine problems. Sukhoi originally planned to use an advanced derivative of the Saturn AL-31F engine found on its flankers for the Su-57. Su-57 was supposed to have new AL-41F1 engine, but the AL-41F1 engine ran into technical difficulty and didn't match the required performance criteria. Saturn, the manufacturer, is working on a new and more powerful design known as the Izdalai 30 or Product 30. But even this has been facing developmental challenges and may be available for testing at some point in the 2020s. Russia is also facing issues with the stealth characteristic of the aircraft, which is an important aspect of any proper fifth-generation fighter. As reported in Indian media, Indian experts were of the view that the aircraft's stealth characteristics could not be improved significantly, even with future modifications, since it was flawed at many basic levels. Though exact details regarding this are not available, two basic observations have been pointed out by some military analysts. 1. Su-57 is not precision engineered like F-22 Raptor and F-35. For example, there's a lot of gap between flaps as well as between the rear vertical tail and the fuselage. This is probably because Russia doesn't have the machining technology to engineer seamless surfaces. This heavily compromises stealth. 2. Su-57 also has rivets on the outer surface. For example, the nose is bolted on the main body with rivets sticking out. This kind of unevenness drastically affects the stealth profile. China currently has only 28 J-20, of which 8 are initial prototypes. Just like the Su-57, the Chengdu J-20 is having engine problems. China has not perfected its indigenous WS-10, which is used for its flanker clones, Shenyang, J-11, and J-15, let alone come close to finishing development of the next generation, WS-15, it would need for the J-20. Viewers may know that J-11 and J-15 are illegal copies of Russian Su-27 and Su-33, respectively. The WS-10 engine is underpowered and has been a major headache for China. The WS-15 is currently thought to be in a ground testing phase, though some reports state that it's entered limited production. Without the WS-15 engine, the J-20 can't cruise at supersonic speeds. In fact, China has not demonstrated it can build any reliable jet engine, even with designs that it basically stole from Russia. Building engines with indigenous designs remains even more distant. The Chengdu J-20 is thought to be powered by twin Russian-built Saturn AL-31F engines found on the Sukhoi Su-27 and its Chinese knockoffs. China has recently bought Su-35, which many think was to get access to its engine. The addition of the Russian-built AL-41F1S series engines that power Su-35 might have provided a solution to Beijing's engine issues. According to multiple sources, China initially wanted to get the AL-41F1S as a standalone product, but as noted earlier, the AL-41 series engine is not suitable for a fifth-generation fighter, and Russia itself is looking for a solution. The Chengdu J-20 also seems to have issues with stealth like its Russian counterpart. Reports have emerged that a Sukhoi Su-30 MKI of the Indian Air Force managed to detect the Chinese Chengdu J-20 jet fighter. The disclosure didn't come from any independent analysts but from an official source. Indian Air Force Commander Arup Shah said, "The Sukhoi's radar can see them. The new Chinese jets are not so invisible after all. No special technology is required to detect the J-20, as it can be detected by ordinary radar stations." This has ignited debates that the J-20 is nothing more than a decorated 4++ generation fighter. It's to be noted that F-35 is the second fifth-generation fighter jet that the U.S. has developed. F-22 is still considered to be the most potent fighter in the world, and the U.S. has around 180 of these. It's to be noted that even today, F-22 cannot be exported to any country as per federal law, which is a stark contrast to the F-35 program. There's already a significant number of F-35s deployed with the U.S. Air Force, and the new lots will boost the number dramatically. This is also good news for the partner nations and seems to be a win-win situation. So it can be said that the F-35 program is way ahead when compared to Russian and Chinese counterparts. F-35s combined with F-22 Raptor will give the U.S. Air Force an edge, both in terms of quality as well as quantity. This basically means the U.S. Air Force will continue to dominate the skies in the foreseeable future.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.